Hello and welcome to TradeFlow Television,
bringing you valuable analysis and actionable intelligence
through the global commodity markets.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq hit record highs on Tuesday as hopes that a COVID-19 vaccine will be available soon and better than expected factory data from China bolstered bets of a speedy economic recovery. Investors are closely following updates on a handful of vaccine candidates as well as the start of global shipments as drug makers submit paperwork for regulatory approvals. Pfizer Inc. gained about 3.6% as the drug maker and Germany's BioNTech sought emergency approval of their vaccine candidate from the European regulator.
A senior British minister said on Tuesday there was still a chance of a turbulent Brexit without a trade deal as talks with the European Union had snagged on fishing, governance rules and dispute resolution. Just 30 days before Britain leaves the EU's orbit following a standstill transition period since it formally quit the bloc, the sides are trying to agree a trade deal to avoid a rupture that could snarl almost $1 trillion in annual trade. With each side urging the other to compromise, a French official said Britain must clarify its positions and, really negotiate, and cautioned that the EU would not accept a substandard deal.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Iraqi oil exports fell to 2.709 million barrels per day in November, from 2.876 million barrels of oil per day in the previous month, the oil ministry said on Tuesday. Exports from the country's southern Basra terminals reached 2.6 million barrels of oil per day in November, down from 2.77 million barrels of oil per day the month before, the ministry added. Iraq's October revenue from oil, its main source of income, stood at $3.394 billion with an average price per barrel of $41.778.
China's metal recycling body published on Tuesday a list of 9 overseas suppliers that have been certified to ship copper and aluminium scrap meeting new standards into the country, as well as 16 certified importers. China will prohibit imports of solid waste from the end of 2020 for environmental reasons but, after lobbying from recyclers who feared a cut-off of supply, very high-grade scrap metal meeting the new standards has been reclassified as a resource instead and will not be subject to the ban. Moving on to metal price moves. Gold jumped over 2% on Tuesday, rebounding from a 5-month low in the last session, and silver soared over 5%, as the dollar slid, with U.S. stimulus bets due to mounting COVID-19 cases adding to bullion's appeal as an inflation hedge. Spot gold climbed 1.9% to $1,810.02 per ounce by 11:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 16:41 GMT. U.S. gold futures gained 1.8% to $1,808.90. Gold plunged to $1,764.29 on Monday, a trough since July 2, driven by a rush to riskier assets.
Gold slumped 2%, breaking below the key $1,800 support level to a near 5-month trough on Friday, as growing optimism about a quick vaccine-fueled economic recovery and a smooth White House transition powered U.S. equities to records. Spot gold slid 1.3% to $1,787.46 per ounce by 1:15 p.m., earlier falling to its lowest since July 6 at $1,773.10 an ounce. The metal has shed about 4.5% so far this week, the most since the week of September 25. U.S. gold futures settled down 1.3% at $1,781.90 per ounce. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. France aims to raise the area it sows with protein-rich crops by 40% from 2022 and double it over 10 years to reduce heavy reliance on soybean imports from South America, Agriculture Minister Julien de Normandie said on Tuesday. France and other European Union countries import millions of tons of soybean and soymeal each year, mainly from Brazil and Argentina, to feed livestock, making them dependent on world prices, trade relations and environmental practices overseas.
Palm oil prices will continue to rise in the first half of 2021 as global supply squeezed by our La Niña weather pattern is set to remain tight, the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries (CPOPC) said on Tuesday. Disruptions from persistent heavy rainfall in Southeast Asia means global supply will remain tight until the first quarter of next year, CPOPC said in an outlook published on its website. Malaysia's benchmark crude palm oil prices rose to 3,348 ringgit a ton on Tuesday, staying close to more than 8-year highs hit in November. That is all for today's news on the commodity market. Stay tuned to TradeFlow TV as we continue to provide you with more updates. You can also follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow TV1, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop.